Hey there. Xero Shoes sent me these in exchange for doing a review. No other compensation than that. Let's get right into it. The title, Scrambler Mid, accurately describes what you should expect to get. It is a mid-height boot, and it will help you to scramble up and scramble down things. Weirdly, I feel that calling this a boot unnecessarily limits what one should expect from it. I say that because you could just as easily call this a trail running shoe. In other words, while it's a great hiking boot, it's comfortable enough and lightweight enough that I am equally comfortable using it as a trail running alternative. For a boot, now that's pretty rare and kind of cool. For me, basically, I'm planning on using this even for trail running purposes when I'm dealing with mud or snow, sand, gravel, that sort of a thing. This might even be a better fit for trail running. Honestly, I don't feel a whole lot of difference in the traction between the Scrambler and the Mesa 2. They're both going to be just fine. I love the Mesa, and I'm already loving the mid Scrambler, the Scrambler. Yeah. I like them both, and I'm finding great traction from both. So here's the thing. This being a mid height, it's going to work great if you've got, like, say, less than 5 inches of snow. But here's the cool surprise. The Scrambler Mid can also work well for thick snow that's much more than 5 inches. Why? Well, take a look at this. Yeah, see that? That is the hook for a gaiter. So just about any kind of gaiter you've got will work well with these because of that hook. Any standard shoe gaiter, I don't think it'd work with a alligator. To be fair, I haven't tested that, but any shoe gaiter, this would work good with. And I'm finding that because it's so easy to put that on, yeah, I've had this in much more than 5 inches, and it works great. Let's talk about ice. No shoe, unless it's got like built-in snow studs or something, is going to provide good traction when you're on slippery ice. So don't be surprised that you also won't get that with the Scrambler Mid, which I regret to say I tested that theory out, unlike the alligator theory, and I've got the receipt to prove it. Yeah, it's still going to be slippery on ice. The cool thing is, though, that the Scrambler excels in working with strap-on spikes, like if you're using Catula or one of those other brands, Micro Spikes or Hill Sound or whatever. To my experience, a common problem with minimalist shoes, because they've got very rounded toe boxes, is that you try to put something like this on the front of it, and it's going to slide off to one side or the other. The more technical the trail, the more likely that is to happen. But I have not found that to be true with these. And as you can see, it's because it actually is not quite as rounded as some of the other shoes that are out there and won't hold on to them. Ultra, I'm looking at you. But these, with that little extra rounded bit, not rounded bit there at the toe, I actually find that as long as I center it right there, they hold on just fine. And I've tried that on some very steep and icy and snowy trails, and I'm coming back down and thinking, hey, it's still on there. Now, as far as the width, I'm finding these to be plenty wide enough for my foot, which is fairly wide, frankly, in the toe area. So I'm getting plenty of freedom, even if I want to use a toe spreader in there, which I've done on occasion, or orthotics for a longer hike. As long as I take out the insole, I'm good to go. There's still room. What's really impressive, though, is the weight. I mean, sure, it's a little heavier than a trail running shoe, but it's a boot. It's an extremely lightweight boot. This thing rings in at 10.2 ounces, and that's for the size 9. Now, this is a 12 and a half. And that size, it's 12 and a half ounces. Compare it to the Merrell Moab. Now this, a more traditional boot, is 22 and a half ounces. That's nearly twice as much. So having two of these on your feet instead of two leather boots is like taking almost a full pound off your feet. And I'll think about that. If you are one of those long distance hikers, like through hikers, say you're doing the PCT, you're doing the AT, you're working hard to lighten your load. These long distance hikers, they will even saw off the handle on their toothbrush just to shave that little tiny bit of weight. Well, you want to shave off your toothbrush, you could, but I'm telling you, if this is going to save you nearly a pound, how many toothbrush handles add up to a pound? Maybe 2 or 3 dozen? I haven't tested it, to be fair, but I think that's probably about right. If you are a through hiker, I suggest you quit maiming your toothbrush and just switch to a scrambler, okay? Now, of course, the other question is, will it last as long? I don't know. I've only had this for 40 miles so far. And the reality of it is, with any leather shoe or boot, I find that will last longer than other shoes. And that may be true here. So that could be a trade off. It might not last as long, but I tell you what, you will last longer if you've taken off a full pound and you're doing a 20 or 30-mile hike. Losing an extra pound, maybe that's a trade off that's worth it for you. Honestly, I can't think of anything I don't like about this. If I come up with something, I'll let you know. But for now, 2 thumbs up.